Welcome back, everyone. Today we're jumping right into one of nature's absolute most dramatic transformations. We're tracking the epic 90-day life cycle of the pileated woodpecker in this explainer. We're going to look at the exact chronological blueprint of how a creature goes from being, well, completely vulnerable to totally mastering its environment.
So what does it really take to conquer the vast, unforgiving forest? Well, it starts in the dark. I want you to imagine a hollow tree cavity, way deep in the woods. Faint shafts of light are just barely piercing through a tiny round opening. And deep inside, resting on a quiet little bed of wood chips, are 3 glossy white eggs. Then, slowly, silently, a hairline crack begins to appear on the surface of one of those eggs. The journey is on.
Okay, let's dive into this. What we're looking at is a brilliant 90-day countdown to survival. It's literally a ticking clock. We start at day 1 with hatching, move to day 30 where pin feathers and fierce competition kick in, day 60, right at the edge of the nest, day 75 for that terrifying first flight, and finally, day 90, becoming a complete master survivalist.
Part 1. Life in the dark and the first days. This covers days 1 through 10. The egg has cracked, and the inciting incident begins with 0. On day 1, that is exactly what these newly emerged, pink, trembling chicks possess. 0 sight, because they're completely blind. 0 mobility, and absolutely 0 ability to feed themselves. They are at the very bottom rung of the survival ladder, completely hidden from the world, starting with nothing but a desperate need to grow.
This is a phase of absolute total dependence. These featherless, fragile chicks are entirely reliant on mom and dad. The adult woodpeckers have to constantly brave the open, dangerous forest to forage for insects. And during this deeply helpless phase, that massive protective beak of the adult woodpecker coming into that dark cavity, that is the chick's only lifeline. Without it, the story ends right here.
Moving on to Part 2, the battle for food. This covers days 11 through 30.
And just like that, the quiet nursery completely vanishes. Now, every single day is a frantic race against hunger. Inside that cramped tree cavity, these fast-growing chicks are sprouting dark pin feathers. They're throwing open their massive, bright yellow mouths and chirping so loudly. When a parent returns to regurgitate those nutrient-rich insects, it is pure chaos. These young birds are fiercely competing against their own siblings for every single bite. If they don't fight, they don't eat. And if they don't eat, well, they don't survive.
Part 3. Facing the outside world. This spans days 31 to 60.
Suddenly, fear is replaced by this intense curiosity. We've got a fully feathered juvenile now, sporting a little red crest, and it's poking its head completely out of the hole, looking right into the bright forest canopy. But remember, survival is never guaranteed. This beautiful forest is actually incredibly hostile. Predators are actively lurking out there waiting for an easy meal, and honestly, perhaps an even greater threat is just gravity. As the wind rustles the leaves outside, that young bird is staring down a massive drop. A single fall from this height before they're actually ready to fly, that would be absolutely fatal. The stakes have literally never been higher.
Part 4. The leap of faith. We're now at days 61 to 75.
The young survivor is hesitating right at the edge of the tree hole, feeling the wind, preparing to leave the only home it's ever known for the ultimate test. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this incredible biological advantage, zygodactyl claws. That's 2 toes facing forward and 2 toes facing backward. It's a phenomenal evolutionary trait perfectly designed for gripping vertical bark. Right before they take that terrifying first flight, they use this specialized grip to anchor themselves securely to the side of the tree. It's basically their launching pad.
Let's walk through the mechanics of this first flight step by step. First, they grip the bark tightly. Second, driven entirely by pure, unteachable instinct, they launch themselves forward into thin air. Third, they flap frantically. I mean, there's no grace here yet, it is pure survival. And finally, step 4, they manage to land, usually pretty unsteadily, on a nearby branch. It's a terrifying, messy, but absolutely critical micro-action sequence that catapults them into the wild.
Part 5. Sovereignty of the Forest. The final stretch, days 76 to 90.
The hardest part is over, and the transformation is complete. That clumsy, frantic instinct has finally morphed into razor-sharp precision. And this brilliantly illustrates just how far our hero has come. On day 1, we had a creature that was fragile, blind, hidden, and trembling in the dark, versus day 90, a masterful survivalist with a striking fiery red crest
capable of powerful, rhythmic hammering into a rotting log. The contrast is just astonishing. It's like a complete architectural rebuild of a living creature.
90. In just 90 short days, a helpless, blind little organism encased in a shell transforms into a magnificent sovereign of the deep woods. Picture it. That adult bird, wood chips flying through the air in slow motion as the sun sets behind the dense forest. It is an absolute masterclass in adaptation, growth, and the sheer will to survive, all executed in under 3 months.
So it leaves us wondering, if raw instinct and biology can conquer the forest in just 90 days, what other quiet masterpieces of survival are happening in the darkness right now, completely unseen? Nature is constantly building these incredible systems all around us. Keep your eyes open, keep asking questions, and never stop exploring. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.